Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. Yang main continent, within an ancient underground palace. The walls of this palace had ancient sacrificial pictures, and they had faint law ripples. Over trillions of years, they had yet to be fully destroyed. Luo Feng was shocked when he first saw them. Who knew what life forms lived here countless years ago? He sat cross-legged in the palace. Suddenly, 9 light pillars simultaneously pierced through the thick stone layer, hitting the palace directly. The brute force of the lasers instantly broke apart the palace. Even the space around was ripped apart as large amount of rubble flew about. Luo Feng only awoke when the 9 pillars were hit. Not good. Black armor extended over his body, protecting his entire body as he swiftly lifted the beast god shield. A powerful glaring beam of light rippled onto Luo Feng as it shot through the palace. The power of the lasers were already reduced by half after piercing through the stone layer. Its first hit was on Luo Feng's beast god shield, allowing him to dodge in time. Darkness ensued, the underground palace crumbled. Luo Feng flew backwards too. Where is it from? Luo Feng immediately adjusted and flew through the torn space. Hua lo lo. He pierced through the deep caves and surfacing out of the cave. He looked up and was shocked. In all directions, there were a total of 9 pyramid ships. It was clear from their positions that the 9 laser beams were shot from these 9 ships. Automaton ships. Luo Feng frowned. Automaton ships, Barbata. Can the scanning device detect these 9 ships? Luo Feng, the scanners are unable to determine the target. They are probably totally jammed. The enemy has a more advanced scanner than ours. Barbata communicated mentally back. Someone with a device more advanced than ours. Luo Feng, you need to be very careful. His strength could very likely be Emperor level. Luo Feng was very calm. Luo Feng could tell from the surface energy barriers of the 9 pyramid ships that every one of them was much more expensive than his Yunmo planet ship. Where is he from? Luo Feng was shocked. Just these 9 ships are all better than my Yunmo planet ship. From the feel of it, the energy barriers are very strong. Maybe only if I let the golden horned beast out will I be able to harm the 9 ships. Strong warrior. A true strong warrior of the automaton race. This wasn't the same automaton warrior that went after the same treasure as Huyang Bo. That undying back then was only at general level. He wasn't that powerful, and his ship was only a pinnacle E grade. How could it compare to this warrior that could so easily brandish 9 extremely expensive pyramid ships? Bastard, I can't find a trace of him. Luo Feng was worried. This was the first time he had the taste of having an opponent with a better scanning device than himself. He had always toyed with the other opponents before, fighting and fleeing as he felt like. Now that power was completely in the hands of the enemy. Luo Feng paused for a short 0.01 seconds in mid-air before swiftly fleeing. Little punk, trying to flee. Ha ha ha, toying with a human sector lord that dared to come to the main continent sure is fun. Millions of kilometers away from Luo Feng, Ci Wei Ka watched the scene in his control room with interest. When Luo Feng tried to flee, he instantly ordered, attack. The 9 dormant ships suddenly rumbled and their bottom parts tore open, revealing a few 100-meter wide cabin doors. Almost like locusts flying out, black automaton puppets shot out like lightning. The 9 ships simultaneously shot out large amounts of black puppets. Theoretically, these 9 ships were all 800-meter tall, and with the engine within the ship, it was unable to fit too many puppets. However, at this moment, they flew out continuously. Almost in a blink of an eye, over 1 million black puppets had flown out of each ship. 9 million. Looking at the 9 directions, a blur of countless black puppets covered the skies. Luo Feng was stunned. These puppets were all 10-meter tall, and completely black. They carried axes, blades etc. on their backs, all sorts of weapons. Just where is this guy from? This is too absurd. 9 million F9 grade puppets. and every one of them is completely made of F9 grade metal black swan essence. Even if the costs are economized, every one of them is still made of so much metal. A single one alone should be worth 10 mixed elements. 9 million would be 90 million mixed elements. Spending such a huge fortune to buy a sea of puppets, this is too extravagant. Just where is this guy from? There was a saying that a sharp blade worked better. Similarly, 90 million mixed elements worth of wealth would do better being spent on precious treasures or weapons. But for 90 million puppets, truly controlling each with precision, normally 1 million was the limit, and any more would definitely be a waste. Weng. The 9 ships that shot out 1 million F9 puppets each. The closest one to Luo Feng had its puppets simultaneously gather energy within their chests. Rumble. 1 million light beams shot at Luo Feng. They formed a huge 100-meter in diameter pillar of light. Luo Feng wielded the beast god's shield and swiftly dodged. 9 ships took turns to gather energy and attack in turns. As the distance got closer, from the third attack on, Luo Feng was unable to dodge no matter how fast he was. He could only rely on the beast god's shield and his soldier armor to defend, blocking the terrifying attacks. Luo Feng immediately unleashed his movement techniques, flying straight towards a group of the puppets. The puppets, however, dispersed simultaneously. The other 8 armies pressed in close. No matter how he escaped, the 9 groups all maintained a suitable distance. Whichever way he fled, the army there would disperse and the others would close in. As such, Luo Feng was trapped. Bastard. This too vulgar. Luo Feng was worried. The distance between him and the armies allowed them to hit him over and over. He actually consecutively blocked 20 of my energy attacks. Every one of them is akin to full blast from a pinnacle official. Ci Wei, who was controlling the puppets from a distance, was stunned. This human sector Lord sure isn't ordinary. The shield he uses to deflect my attacks is completely undamaged. It even disperses a large amount of the force, he. Begin the 3 army combined attacks. Ci Wei ordered casually. When the 9 armies began surrounding Luo Feng, they attacked in turns one by one. Luo Feng was unable to escape and was trapped. After withstanding 20 attacks, the 9 armies began to combine 3 armies together and attack. The force of the attack was too huge. Actually, this was probably the limit of the 9 armies. After all, they were all in different positions. They could only at most gather 3 armies to attack at once. However, Luo Feng once again withstood the attacks. Trigger the energy. Flame simulation, trap formation. Ci Wei ordered again. Even a true pinnacle official would be trapped, much less this punk. To waste so much of my energy, you should be proud. The originally countless dumb automaton puppets instantly lit up with a glaring red light. The powerful energies of the 90 million puppets made Luo Feng's expression change. What powerful energy. These aren't cheap metal lumps, and their energy cores are very advanced. Just one of them alone would be worth a few hundred mixed elements. Altogether, this will be, at least a few billion mixed elements. Luo Feng was stunned. Passing the domain Lord Primal Region's Sky Mountain before and getting 3 billion points in reward, he had thought was already very impressive. However, the scene before him. 90 million F9 grade puppets, and every one of them was highly advanced, and they were not simply metal lumps. Just like back when he was in Tai Wo and Poison's team, being attacked by the automaton warrior before, the enemy simply used puppets that had simple cores that relied on the thunder hell for energy. Compared to these 90 million, they were pitiful. Spending billions of mixed elements so easily. Luo Feng was stunned. He understood too, since he's poured so much wealth into it. These 9 armies definitely have more than simple combined attacks. Weng. 900 puppets burned with flames on their surface. Hua. They gathered as one, all of them brandished the weapons from their back, be it axes, blades, etc. Suddenly one army of the 9 had its puppets all rush straight at Luo Feng with their weapons. The flame energy passed through their blades and swiftly formed a huge red beam of light, rushing at Luo Feng. 1 million red lights gathered as one, shooting from all directions. It formed a net-like structure, stretching around Luo Feng. Terrifying. Luo Feng shuddered within, clearly feeling the countless red light net surrounding him. He couldn't match its strength. If he fought back, he would be trapped and wouldn't be able to escape. This was what he felt. Rumble. Luo Feng vanished. Howl. A huge silver-winged beast appeared in mid-air, a terrifying pressure emanating throughout. This scene caused the distant Ciwei to change his expression. Silver Wing Emperor. This human sector lord is actually a puppet controlled by the Silver Wing Emperor. Or is this emperor his guardian? Over the 3 years, since the Golden Horned Beast created a name for itself as the Silver-Winged Emperor, it became quite a renowned being on the main continent. The automaton youth Ciwei frowned. A human who is able to withstand the attacks of my armies is definitely an absolute genius, and is not one to become another's sole puppet. There's a higher possibility of this Silver-Winged Emperor being his bodyguard. This human's background must be huge. Indeed. His teacher had given him the Beast God armament and the Showu wings. Even the cheaper Beast God armament was a weapon the knights used. It was still extremely pricey. Much less the Showu wings. A trillion races in the universe. The only other person who knew of the wonders of this item other than the user Luo Feng was the Primal Chaos city leader himself. Such a treasure, if its power was divulged, it was enough to make even knights go crazy for. Even the entire wealth of a knight wouldn't be able to afford it. Of course Ciwei didn't know Luo Feng had such a treasure. He only guessed that with his background, he had many treasures. Such an absolute genius was worth a lot of contribution points. Contribution points and the treasures he has. Ciwei gritted his teeth. I'll give it my all. Even if the cost is huge, it'll be worth it. Luo Feng was being cornered too. Against the 9 million F9 grade puppets attacking in formation, it was something the Earth body couldn't hold up against for long. And his other trump card, the Bug Army, was suppressed too. Even though its attack was extremely powerful, these puppets were F9 grade and their strongest point was their defense. One attack from the Bug Army may cause chaos amongst 1 million of the puppets, and even problems within 10,000 of their cores. However, there would be little loss of their F9 armors. In comparison, the moment the Bug Army was attacked by the other 8 armies, the Bug Army was only Sector Lord Pinnacle. Their defense was not even comparable to a normal Undying. Naturally, they couldn't compare to the defenses of the F9 metal. The losses would be tragic and heavy. The Bug Clan's strength is their powerful attack. 1 million Sector Lord Kings can even heavily damage a Pinnacle Emperor. Against a normal automaton army, its powerful attack can damage their internal cores. However, these F9 grade puppets are advanced both outside and inside. They are all extremely expensive to make. Every one of them costs more than a Sector Lord Pinnacle King. They are extremely sturdy. I'm unable to disrupt their core from the outside. It would be a tragedy. Luo Feng was very clear on this. Different methods had their pros and cons. Against the 9 armies surrounding him, Luo Feng only had one way out, and that was to let the Golden Horned Beast appear. He had no other choice. I've been in the outer region wars for over 1,000 years, yet I've never been in such a situation before. Automaton scum, cry in despair. Luo Feng raged and rushed into the sky. The Golden Horned Beast appeared in the air above the vast land. With a flap of its wings, it suddenly flashed and dodged the countless red threads. With the help of the Showu wings, plus its own physical abilities, its speed with strike travel was absurd. Howl. It let out an enraged howl. It flapped its wings and rushed straight towards one of the million-strong F9 puppet army. The army immediately began to flee while the other 8 pushed forward instead, maintaining optimum position to surround and attack the beast. Leaving behind 3 warps in mid-air, the beast had reached sub-light speed, simultaneously accelerating more, reaching close to light speed. The million F9 puppets' acceleration was much slower. They couldn't even compare to Luo Feng's Earth body speed. They were only relying on the distance and support from the other armies, reaching sub-light speed before the Earth body could catch up. The Golden Horned Beast, however, was completely different. Strike travel was originally a movement technique for wings. The Showu wings were adept at fleeing and dodging. Even a pinnacle emperor, without teleportation, wouldn't be able to keep up with the beast. The million F9 puppets were just accelerating. Before reaching sub-light speed, the extremely fast golden horned beast had already caught up. With a flash of its wings, spreading over 100 kilometers area, it instantly covered the skies. Howl! The beast howled. Its wings acted like blades. It instantly clashed against the fleeing puppets. Just how huge were its wings? A few 100 kilometers in area. Every one of the puppets was only 10 meters tall. Even with a million gathered with some distance between them, it would at most spread over 1,000 kilometers. Rumble, the beast rushed past the army. Countless F9 puppets waved their weapons, clashing against the beast's body. However, the weapons were simply knocked away, almost like playthings being thrown about. The most peculiar thing was, with the attack of the Showu wings, large amounts of the puppets actually lost the ability to move, swiftly falling from the sky. How can this be? These are exceptional grade F-class puppets. Their energy cores are extremely sturdy. How can it lose its mobility after just one clash? One clash can actually make over 10,000 puppets stop moving. Ciweka watched in disbelief at the scene. The golden horned beast let out an ear-piercing howl and flapped its wings. Luo Feng, who had initially thought it was not bad that one clash allowed him to damage over 100 puppets, was surprised to discover that as long as the Showu wings flashed past the puppets, their F9 bodies may still be undamaged, but their cores would all be destroyed. The reason was that the Showu wings' special space energy, that energy sent out threads of energy into the puppets. Those threads, as long as they touched the F9 puppets, it was over. Regret? Regret with pain for attacking me. The beast let out an excited howl, continuing to flap the Showu wings, rushing over and over against the million-strong army. A large amount of them fell from the sky, all losing their mobility. While rushing past them, the beast had continuously collected the puppets that had lost their mobility into its world ring. Even though they couldn't move, with repair, they could still be fixed. A plaything worth a few hundred mixed elements each, even a damaged one would be worth tens of mixed elements. In the blink of an eye, the beast had collected hundreds of thousands of F9 puppets. The other puppets all fled madly in all directions, even the other 8 million began to swiftly flee, flying towards the 9 pyramid ships. Howl! The beast flapped its wings and left 3 more warps in mid-air, rushing to another army. This time, however, he only got few tens of thousands of puppets, the rest had managed to flee. The prerequisite to collecting them in his world ring was that they couldn't resist. The moment there was resistance, the collection wouldn't be successful. This was also why the beast could only collect those with damaged cores. Of course, there were methods to forcefully collect them, like its natural ability swallow. Forcefully swallowing them all. That was very dangerous. Those with ability to resist, once that resistance grew too powerful, it may damage and ultimately collapse the beast's internal world. Asterisk 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 asterisk. YA. In the distant space, the automaton youth Ciweka grit his teeth and smiled coldly in his control room. To take away so many of my puppets. Silver Wing Emperor. Silver Wing Emperor. Indeed, an emperor undying and is very powerful. However, my property isn't so easy to devour. I will make you spit everything out. 9 Absolute God Country. Activate. He gritted his teeth and ordered. His master was an absolute automaton warrior that had explored the universe for countless years with him as a ship AI. The master treated him like a true brother, and specially built a terrifying automaton weapon for him. Normally such weapons had incredibly high prerequisites to controlling them. Even the Showu Wing's first form required Luo Feng to master the first level of the Nan Shan 7 forms before he could use it. To make it possible for Ciweka to use and manipulate the formidable power. His master had spent a lot of money and energy to personally make this 9 absolute God country. In mid-air. Just where is the enemy hiding? The beast's golden eyes gazed about. The countless F9 automaton puppets had all rushed back into the 9 pyramids. In mid-air, only the 9 pyramid ships floated. The beast couldn't find the true body of the automaton undying. It flapped its wings, rushing at one of the 9 pyramids. This is the first time I've been so pressured in the outer region wars, and am unable to even find the enemy. However, I won't let you go easy. The beast flew towards the pyramid. The 9 pyramids simultaneously shot out glaring purple lights. A blur of purple lights shot out from the bottoms, almost like a special weapon. However, before the beast could see everything clearly, the purple lights spread and countless beams shot in all directions, covering everything in light. As they interweaved, parts of them trapped the golden horned beast. Howl, howl, the beast flapped its wings and struggled madly, slashing large amounts of the lights. However, even more appeared. The instant it was trapped, the pyramids had all connected. Rumble. The land and skies changed, everything before them vanished, leaving behind a purple space. The beast had totally been caught in the 9 absolute God country. When the golden horned beast had fallen into the 9 absolute God country. Virtual universe, back Dragon Mountain, 9-star bay. Shushin was praying for Luo Feng. He has been in the outer region wars for over 1,000 years, and yet I've never seen him leave so hurriedly before. God, please protect Luo Feng. Every time Luo Feng experienced danger, his family would be most worried for him. This was also why he hardly ever told them when he was in danger. At the same time, the dark universe, a completely black blade-like ship was swiftly flying. Your Majesty, we are still a day away from the travel point. Your Majesty, this is our first time to the outer region wars and we are heading straight to Yang main continent. There are many powerful warriors there. Your Majesty just became an emperor, you are still a low emperor, there are even pinnacle emperors there. With a cold snort, the 2 underlings shut up. This was a tall black armored youth. His appearance was like a stone statue, and he was completely hairless. The most eye-catching thing about his look was his eyes. They were like red gems. They gave off a mysterious glow. His entire being emanated a powerful demonic black energy. It was hard for me to get the chance. While my relationship with the demon race is good, using their identity to enter the craziest battlefield in the primal universe, now that I'm here, how can I back down? The black armored youth said coldly. Yes. Yes. The 2 official undyings replied respectfully. Humph, relax. I'm after all a low-level emperor. Even if the other races have special techniques, they may be able to defeat me, but it's impossible for them to kill me. The youth shook his head confidently. This is my opportunity to enter the upper echelon of the race. I cannot slack off. The 2 underlings listened obediently. Yang main continent. The black armored youth gazed at the vast dark universe, muttering. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. When Shushin was praying for Luo Feng, the mysterious black armored youth was heading towards Yang main continent. Luo Feng was trapped in a dangerous predicament. A vast purple space gave off terrifying energy. The 9 pyramids before had shot out large amounts of special weapons that floated in different positions. These special weapons, some were half-meter tall puppets, while another was a 100-meter long huge blade, another was a 0.1-meter tall special-shaped puppet. All sorts of shapes and forms. Scattered in the corners of the purple space, swiftly gathering, the huge energy within the space underwent a huge shocking change. A million special weapons instantly formed 81 fully armored giants. 81 giants, standing in the corners of the purple space, surrounding the golden horned beast. The shortest giant was 8 meter while the tallest was 80 meter. This is. The beast floated in space. Its dark gold eyes were calmly analyzing the Saitutaean. He felt shocked within, the countless weapons that gathered earlier, they seemed to be made of G-grade metals. These 81 giants, they use G-grade metals. Even if they aren't pinnacle G-grade, they would still be worth over 10 billion mixed elements. G-grade metal was very expensive. Like the blood shadow blade and 6-edged shield he specially ordered, they were both made of G-grade metals. Emperor-level warriors normally used G-grade metals. After all, F-grade metals couldn't withstand an emperor's battle. To actually fight properly at that level, one had to use top-level G-grade metals. Naturally, Luo Feng only bought a blade and shield. With his discounts, he only spent about 6 million points. Just a blade and shield was more expensive than the Yunmo planet ship. G-grade was obviously much more expensive than F9 grade metals. Emperor Undyings normally only used G-grade for little items, as they couldn't afford to make a ship out of it. That would be something only the knights and above could afford. These 81 giants before him, even if they were low-grade G metals, they'd still be worth over 10 billion mixed elements. This was comparable to an emperor's wealth. Just where is this enemy from? Luo Feng was shocked. Smiling coldly within, no matter what, when I kill him, all these will become mine. This is worth much more than accumulating points. Silver Wing Emperor. A booming voice resounded from the tallest purple giant. It spoke common automaton language. The golden horned beast turned to face that purple giant. Compared to the over 100 kilometers long beast, that 80 tall giant was but a little person. Speak. The beast spoke automaton language. You've collected 530,000 of my puppets. If you return them to me, I'm willing to release you. The purple giant looked up at the huge beast. You should know that my scanning device's capabilities far exceeds yours. You won't be able to detect me, but I can easily find you. The beast was silent, its dark gold eyes gazing coldly at the giant. My 81 giants, they are my final trump card, the 9 absolute god countries, 81 gods. The giant continued. Why call them gods? Because within this god country, every one of them has low-level emperor strength, and this is individually. If I unleash my techniques within here, even if you were an emperor with an undying body, you'd still be heavily injured. You'd lose part of your undying body, and it would take millions to tens of millions of years to recover. If we fight it out, it's not worth it. As long as you return the puppets, I will release you from the 9 absolute god country, and let you leave safely. The purple giant said. The beast stared at the 81 giants. Gods. Low emperor level strength. Whether we have a truce or fight it out, it's up to you, Silver Wing Emperor. The giant said. In the distant control room, the automaton youth Ci Wei Ka revealed a demonic smile. Stupid punk, when you return the puppets to me, I'll teach you a good lesson. While destroying your body, I'll break your world ring and chase that human sector lord out. Getting his treasures is my goal. However, the 530,000 puppets are top-class puppets. I spent 800 million indigo gems. It would take over 10 million indigo gems to repair them as well. After all, they are slightly damaged, their core body should still be okay. These top-level puppets in the hands of a beast, it's an absolute waste. Indigo gems were the highest currency of the automaton race. Compared to the human currency, 2 indigo gems were about the price of 1 mixed element. Naturally, as the enemy was from another race, each currency couldn't work with each other. Some warriors may barter in private, 2 indigo gems for 1 mixed element. This was just a rough estimate of the amount. When they truly bartered, naturally many other factors were involved. Asterisk 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 asterisk. The beast observed. This 9 absolute god country was not a true god country. It was only in name, and its core was still the 9 floating pyramids. Howl, the beast roared, and the 81 automaton gods moved to surround it. Big trouble. Every one of them had low emperor level strength. With 81 of them pressuring him, it was akin to a pinnacle emperor. What's more, would they not have special abilities hidden? The controller had even said there were special techniques he could use. Fight or truce? The largest god looked at the golden horned beast. Automaton undying, do you think I'll be as stupid as you? The beast let out a roar. Your answer has disappointed me. So, enjoy the 9 absolute god country. You are the first one to make me use this, you should feel honored. The purple giant spoke. As it finished speaking, the 81 gods immediately gave off terrifying energies, each becoming beams of light, and shooting at the beast from all directions. The beast looked up and howled. Flapping the Showu wings, it left 3 warps in space and instantly dodged the 12 gods attacking it, rushing straight to the corner of the god country. Automaton idiot, do you really think I will clash head-on with them? Would I be that stupid to fight against G-grade metal gods? My advantage is my speed. Even a pinnacle emperor, without teleportation, will never match the golden horned beast. While chatting with the automaton Undying earlier, Luo Feng had devised a plan. Dodge. And keep dodging. The 81 gods were obviously clumsy and stupid, and were unable to surround the nimble beast. Let's first tear apart this god country. The beast unleashed its wings and flew to the side of the god country, immediately unleashing Moon Policy's first form. Its wings acted like blades and slashed through anything in its path. The space itself was torn apart and a silver flash slashed at the sides of the purple space. God country, trap. The distant Ci Wei Ka muttered softly, mocking, "This is a powerful weapon the master created, you can dream on about destroying that easily." Within the god country. As the beast slashed at the sides, large amounts of purple threads shot out suddenly within the space. Countless threads wrapped about, at close distance, even the beast couldn't avoid them. Howl, the beast howled and struggled. The Showu wings flapped and slashed large amounts of the threads. It just began to flee when more threads appeared. God country, tear. Ci Wei Ka muttered, controlling the 81 gods. Within the 9 absolute god country. The 81 gods waved their arms like blades. Even though it seemed like a simple slash, with 81 slashes ripping through the space itself and rushing at the beast. While in flight, the 81 slashes began to meld together, forming one huge blurry blade. Also, endless amounts of purple energy poured into the slash from the space itself, causing it to get clearer. Finally, it formed a 300-meter-long true blade slash. As it flew, very thin tears appeared in the space itself. What is this? The golden horned beast was feeling rage and helpless against the countless purple threads. However, after seeing that 300-meter normal-looking blade fly at it, its eyes revealed a look of seriousness. It quickly closed its wings and wrapped itself within. A seemingly normal huge blade slashed through space, and in the blink of an eye, it hit the silver wings. The golden horned beast, which was wrapped within, was like a silver egg. The wings had completely protected the beast well, not leaving a single slit. Rumble. The beast was knocked back far away. The large amounts of purple threads holding on to the beast had to be let go too, some of them broken from the powerful force. The beast became a beam of light as it flew backwards. After flying back hundreds of thousands of kilometers, only then did it open its wings. Its mouth had a hint of trickling golden blood, and its dark eyes gleaming with madness. The wings had diffused over 90% of the force, with the general armor diffusing another 90% of the leftover force. Through these two weakening the attack greatly, the remaining force was but 1,000th of the original. Even so, it still hurt the beast. Howl. The beast flapped its wings. It warped in mid-air and swiftly rushed at the closest god. It was obvious that they were strongest when attacking together. As long as it could catch onto one beast, it would be much safer. Countless purple threads once again rushed around the beast, beginning to trap it. These purple threads again. Bastard. Luo Feng raged within. The beast struggled madly, causing large amounts of the threads to break. However, more were produced, causing the beast to once again fall into the same trap, unable to break free. Howl. It struggled and raged. To actually be able to withstand my absolute 9-god country attack, and not be torn apart, I respect your strength. The tallest god of the 81 gods suddenly brandished a blade bigger than itself, roaring, "Then receive my second attack." The other 80 of them all extended one finger, and shot out a thin purple light. Though they were thin, they were extremely condensed. These 80 purple lights all shot into the blade. The tallest god simultaneously threw out the huge blade, which was infused with the space and fire laws. It made the huge blade tear a big hole in space itself. It instantly flew straight at the beast at a terrifying speed. The beast naturally closed itself in its wings again, and was forcefully knocked back again. His body is still okay. Then take my third attack. I don't believe you can take it. The tallest god roared. Each attack was stronger than the previous. This third attack was almost like a solid hammer, clashing into the protected beast's wings. The beast was so shaken that blood flew out of its eyes, nose and ears, it even spit out gold blood. As it was knocked back, countless purple threads came to bind it again, causing it to get extremely enraged. The youth Ci controlling this battle from afar slapped his alloy chair, breaking it apart. 3 consecutive attacks didn't destroy its body. This god country is something my master personally created, and its 3 attacks are all considered to be at pinnacle emperor level. Even though one would have an undying body, his body would still be destroyed before reforming. Why isn't his body breaking apart? As long as I can destroy his body, its world ring will appear. I'll use the god country to instantly grab the world ring and cause instability in the ring to make it collapse. Once the human sector lord appears, I'll be able to capture my target. However, why am I unable to destroy its body? This is the 9 absolute god country. It was something the master built for me out of the relationship we've had over the countless years. He spent a huge amount on it to improve my strength and weaponry. A normal emperor's wealth cannot even afford it. Even though it cannot kill a pinnacle emperor, destroying his body should be easy. However, he couldn't believe the scene before him. 9 absolute god country, he naturally wouldn't suspect. A pinnacle emperor was very powerful. Even after destroying his body, he could easily reform without any damage. Hence killing him was very hard. Ciweka didn't even think of killing the silver-winged emperor. He didn't have the confidence to do so either. He simply wanted to destroy his body once, using the chance to get the sector lord and automaton methods to cause the world to crumble. I don't believe this. He gritted his teeth. Not being able to kill you is one thing, but I cannot even destroy your body. The master's 9 absolute god country cannot be that weak. Break. Ciweka raged. His god country once again began a more terrifying attack. 4th attack. 5th attack. 6th attack. The 81 gods that were all low emperors used the purple space's help to unleash terrifying attacks over and over. God country, grinding wheel. Ciweka gritted his teeth and unleashed the 9th attack of the god country, the strongest one he had. The 81 gods' eyes all lit up, light gathering within their weapons as they all flew out of their hands and gathered in mid-air. Among the 81 lit-up weapons, the big ones were like 100 blades, while the small ones not even half a meter in length. They formed a peculiar grinding wheel weapon, with sharp edges on the side. The wheel spun and countless purple light threads melded into it. It acted like a purple space core. Hula! It rushed straight at the beast. The 2 bottom and upper layers of the wheel interweaved. Ge. Even space was ripped apart into countless shreds. When the wheel hit the golden horned beast, it began to madly grind at it. The Showu wings were clashing hard against the mad grinding. Although the golden horned beast's body was reduced to powder, the outer layer of wings however was undamaged. Howl! The beast let out a howl of pain. Automaton idiot, stupid punk, what other methods do you have? The beast let out an enraged howl. Can you only rely on these purple threads to bind me? The grinding wheel swiftly flew back, returning the 81 weapons to the gods. The 81 gods looked at the distant golden horned beast, not know what to do. The 9 absolute god country was actually unable to destroy its body. The distant Ciweka was angry and worried. This 9th attack was the strongest attack the god country could do, unless Ciweka was willing to pay a bigger price to unleash its final attack. That move would damage even a pinnacle emperor, destroying part of his undying body. He then would require tens of millions of years to recover. Using that move once costs 1 billion indigo gems. Is it worth it? Ciweka hesitated. 1 billion indigo gems. This was huge sum for even an emperor, one couldn't bear to use this much on just one battle. Many emperors would rather sacrifice 5% of their undying bodies and not lose such a sum. Is it worth it? While Ciweka was hesitating, the golden horned beast that had taken 9 attacks finally exploded. 81 gods. Humph, after the 9 consecutive attacks, his energy should be depleted. They would take a while for the energy to replenish to attack again. The beast glanced at the distant 81 gods. While unleashing their 9th attack, their energies had already reached extremely low levels. At this time, countless amounts of energy was pouring into them from the space about. The beast's eyes gleamed with madness. My chance has come. Alina. Master. Command 1 million tiger armored kings to do a combined attack, the strongest attack, and break through this purple space. This is a space formed by those 9 pyramids, just choose one and attack it. Luo Feng ordered his bug queen Alina within his internal world. Yes, master. Alina said respectfully. Rumble. Large amounts of countless bugs appeared around the golden horned beast. Every tiger armored king was about 26 meters tall, and they were covered in a thick armor. Their dark red malevolent bodies gave off terrifying energy. A blur of 1 million armored tiger kings appeared, and all of them were exactly alike. In the core of the bug army was a 1 kilometer in diameter bug clan mother nest. The million tiger armored kings extended their claws. A glaring light gathering at the tip of their claws, the million soldiers seemed to be linked by their souls. In truth, they were all being controlled by one queen. Simultaneously controlling 1 million bugs, even though it couldn't do a law-infused attack, it could still do a precision attack. Bug clan, it's the bug clan. A million sector lord bugs, and tiger armored kings. Quick, break. The distant Ciweka was immediately at a loss. One combined attack by a million kings, that was extremely terrifying. A combined attack by 1 million normal sector lord bugs could heavily injure a pinnacle emperor. Naturally it had to hit first, the emperors weren't stupid, they could all dodge and flee. Hence, normally the million-strong army was good as a threat, and was useful in an army battle, however against an emperor. It was too hard to hit. However, no one could deny its power. And the million kings compared to the million normal sector lords, the power was much more powerful by at least tens of times. Even a pinnacle emperor would probably lose 50 to 100% of his undying body. Meaning, there was a possibility of a pinnacle emperor falling. This was the power of 1 million bug kings. Of course, the requirement was, it had to hit. This video will end here.